All right, this video is not going to be edited, nor will it be perfect at all, but that's kind of what I want it to be. And I want to emphasize that because sometimes in life, although you may want perfect results or show up the best way possible, a lot of the times, if you want to be great, a lot of it is going to be forcing it and forcing your way to the path of success. And one thing I'm learning is that if you want to achieve phenomenal things, there's going to be more things that you don't want to do than things that you want to do. And that in itself is the bare minimum to succeed. And so with this, like, I'm forcing this. It's tough to think of things to share. And when I can't think of like a super perfect idea of what to share, I often just share of what I'm going through in the moment and what I'm learning in the moment. Because a lot of this and making like this, it's easy, but it's not making these videos. And a lot of it is just, it's tough, but it's also like the reason why it's helping me learn so fast. It's helping me learn fast. And by learning, I mean, obviously lessons. And these lessons are teaching me things as I go. And the more I learn and think I know, the more I realize I don't know. And that's, of course, obviously very much the Dunning-Kruger effect of this. But I'm sure you can see this, you can find this in anything. If you're watching this and you're a basketball player, or you play tennis, you run track, you are a swimmer, I don't know. It can be anything. And things that are tough, things that you have to learn, you have to challenge yourself in order to grow. These are things that's what's going to help you to grow over time. And part of growth is going to be pain. A lot of the times it is pain. And a lot of the times, like when you're learning, when you are figuring things out, again, you're probably going to want to go out there in the game and do your best possible, hit all the best shots, never miss, always be perfect. Like that's almost always our ideal mindset into going into games, when in reality, like, expect to fail sometimes, because that failure is good. It's going to be part of the journey to success. And a lot of failure is going to look like, or a lot of success is going to look like forcing it and forcing your way into going out there and doing your best. Because some days you're not going to feel like your best. And even if you're not an athlete, you can think about this in real life. Whether you're a father, a mom, or going to work, there are going to be days where you wake up and you're not going to feel like it. You're not going to feel like going to the gym. You're not going to feel like even going to your job that you have to do, or that you get to do. That's a side note. But in that, again, regardless of how you feel or not, your kids are going to need to be fed. Your kids are going to need to be getting up and getting dressed. I'm not even a father yet. And I just think about that. And I'm like, when I wake up, I'm like, I'm not even married yet. I'm not even a father. How am I going to think about this and think like, oh, I don't feel like getting up? It's not going to, like, I have it so much. This is one of the easiest parts of my life, ironically, in a lot of ways, because I'm not a father yet. But to bring it back to the lesson, like, regardless of if you are a father or not, like, and if you wake up and you feel like you don't feel like getting up out of bed, like, kids are going to need to be fed. You're going to need to go start helping people at your job, hopping on coaching calls, filming videos. If you're an athlete, you don't feel like getting up early to go to the game. It's like, no, like, your team is waiting for you. You got to go. Or whether you're just building your physique and you're trying to get better at fitness, like, the gym is calling your name. And so it can be easy, and you can try to give into the thoughts. But again, if you want to succeed, if you want to win, like, a lot of it is going to take forcing your way, forcing yourself to do it. It's required. You got to do what's required. And so that's something I've just been thinking about, and I wanted to share that because I was watching someone on YouTube. His name is Noske, and he is, what does he call himself? I don't know what the term is, but he runs marathons, and he's like huge on biking and stuff, and that comes with a lot of endurance training. And so, like, he'll just be training for hours and hours, and obviously it's not easy, it's hard. And when he's doing this, because he does like marathon running and um, endurance training, but then he also does has his own business on the side, and he's an entrepreneur, and he's someone I look up to. He has his own business. He runs cohorts every other month or so called Time to Build, and he helps people achieve their financial goals and turn their passion into profit. But amidst all the success, there's a ton of pain. And to quote him, he's like, 85% of the time, I do my training, I do my cohorts, and I'm helping people, I'm making content, I'm doing this and that. 85% of the time, I don't feel like it. He says it in a lot harsher way. I'm not gonna cuss on this video, but yeah, he's like 80% of the time, I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. It sucks, but he does it anyway. And he's like 10% of the time, like, don't get me wrong, I love what I do. I love training, and I love the feeling of running the race and finishing, getting a new time. I love the feeling of helping my students win and provide for their families and achieve their dreams. He's like, I love that stuff. But fam, to be real, 85% of the time, I do not feel like doing it. I despise sometimes having to get up and go out there in the cold, freezing weather and go for a run or do my biking stuff. But he does it. And yes, there's a balance, like, well, maybe there isn't, but yes, there's an idea of wanting to build a life where you love what you do and you do what you love. But a lot of the times it's like, I'm learning the process is you first have to learn to love what you do before you can do what you love. That's kind of a side point. But again, to bring it all back to just the forcing part, like, yes, love what you do, okay? Learn to love what you do. And in the midst of that, sometimes loving what you do isn't going to always be perfect and peaches and cream. Like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. Like, I'm sure, I'm not a father yet, but I'm sure if there is a father here or mother here watching this, like, yes, you love your kids, but man, there were many days where you're like, I can't stand you, or I can't, like, I wish I had some alone time to myself. That stuff, like, some people won't admit it, but like, that's normal to have. Like, that doesn't mean you hate your kid or you wish you never had them. That's just the emotions of what comes with being a parent. At least that's what I'm learning. And sometimes it can be tough, especially when they're babies. It's like, oh man, I don't feel like this and this and this. But you do it anyway because you love them. Love is an action, a decision. Love is a choice. And so sometimes the choices are going to be tough. And I have a love and hate relationship with these eventual choices that I'll have to make when it comes to my future kids and families and stuff. But I know for a fact it'll be worth it. And I know for a fact that forcing mentality, it'll pay off, and that's what it's going to take to become a great Christ-like father and husband for my wife and family and community. Like, that's what it's going to take to become a great entrepreneur. And so, yeah, like, if I want to build a business, be able to provide for my family, be able to serve and help the most amount of people possible, help other people achieve their dreams, have my own coaching business and help them, like, it's going to take the forcing. It's going to take the hard, tough work, but it will be worth it. And a side note, like, big dreams are cool and you can have dreams, but they can't have you. I want to remind myself of that as well, because before David in the Bible ever got to become king, he was first a shepherd, and he was doing the simple task, the task that wasn't as easy. It was pretty tough, having to take care of all the animals and whatever in the farm, and having to be someone who was pretty much in a humble position. But that's how he started. And he didn't become king for a while, even though that was God's destiny for him in his journey. That didn't happen for a while. He first had to learn to love what he did before he can do what he loved. And he had to learn how to be faithful in the season that he was in before he ever got to become king. And so I guess let that be a reminder as well. I'm just recalling a Ruslan clip because that's something that, not only just because my name is David, like, no, it's universal. And hearing that message is like always been such a, can be painful to my ego because it's like, ah, man, I gotta wait. Because I want my goals now and this and that and that. But like when you let go of that, it's like, it's so comforting at the same time because it's like, okay, be faithful now. Be faithful in your season now. And hopefully through that, like, you'll begin to experience the blessings that in God's plan for you. Ideally. I think one distinction in Proverbs is that Proverbs isn't if A then B, like it isn't like that. And that's not how life always works. Like the fastest runner doesn't always win the race. And sometimes there is a sense of randomness sometimes in life, and there's a lot out of our control, but the things that are in our control, we can make the best of. And generally speaking, if you do A, then most likely you'll achieve B. And that's kind of the mindset we got to live with. But at the end of the day, like, it all is practically meaningless and doesn't have that much value in terms of our dreams, because like life is finite. Everything that we aspire to achieve is eventually going to pass away. So we got to remember that too. And we got to remember that throughout all of this, like, we're doing it out of our love for God, and all of it is for the purpose of that. It's all to, like, God's purpose for our lives isn't for us to achieve our goals and our dreams. It's to live a life that honors Him, to live a life that blesses God, per se. But with all that being said, if you are pursuing something and it is uncomfortable, I encourage you to lean into that. And hopefully that pressure and that forcefulness will lead you to success. Because if you do lean into that, I'm confident that it will. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.